There are four major crimes under the Violence Against Women Act: domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, and stalking. So how does stalking relate to intimate partner violence? In the criminal justice and domestic violence fields, we often hear stalking discussed in the following way. There's an abusive relationship, the victim leaves, and then that abusive partner, the offender, begins to stalk the victim after. While this can and does occur, let's take a look back at that abusive relationship. If during the relationship the offender was engaging in surveillance, making unwanted contact, threatening the victim, sending unwanted items, recording the victim without their consent, tracking them, and/or meddling in their finances, that's stalking. That's domestic violence and stalking. And stalking can take place before, during, and/or after a relationship. It's important to recognize stalking as its own form of victimization and not just call it coercive control, intimidation, or jealousy, because stalking is an indicator of greater risk for the victim. Those who were abused and stalked experienced higher rates of serious threats, physical violence, sexual assault, and even homicide. In fact, in the vast majority of intimate partner femicides, there was stalking in the year prior to that murder or attempted murder. So while intimate partner stalking doesn't cause these other forms of victimization, it is a red flag and an indicator that this might be an especially dangerous case. So make sure that you ask victims if they are experiencing stalking behaviors, and if they are, respond with the appropriate level of urgency and connect them to the right resources for their safety. If you aren't sure where to start, Victim Connect can help refer stalking victims to local resources. And the Stalking Prevention Awareness and Resource Center, or SPARC, has resources and information for professionals as well as victims at stalkingawareness.org. It is critical that our field recognize the intersections of domestic violence and stalking and works together to keep victims safe and hold offenders accountable.